Well, I got the housing in, and usually you've got a frame around here, so you put it in the frame, and it's already pretty level. But this had the 2x4 chopped off here, and it was lower down at this bottom left. So I took a level across there, put a mark, and then as I put it in there, I lifted this side up so that this is now level. And I went ahead and put a screw, and I've got allowed enough room for the trim is 5/8 thick. And then I like to have it out 1 5/8 inches from the trim so that I can get the side screw on. And then at the top, I leave it 1 1/8 inches away, so it has about a 1/2 inch angle going towards the back. That way, if you have any water in the bottom, it drains out towards the back. And there's a little hole in the back of the insert. You can take that off and put a condensate pipe on there and all that. Okay, so I've got that tilted. So 1 1/8 inches plus 5/8 trim, I had to be 1 3/4. And I'm right there from the sheetrock to this little tip, 1 3/4. And at the bottom, I'm 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 1 3/4 up there. And all my weight is going to be on the sides. I tilted it and then screwed in the top after I did the bottom. Okay, now as you do it, I told you I was going to teach you or show you how to do it square. Well, if your opening is slightly bigger and you tighten it up over too far this way, the housing will kind of wrap like that, or like that, or this one's straight and this one's kind of pooched over, whatever. So, you know, in my case, this side was nice and straight, so I put that first, and then I attached up here. Then I went ahead and measured this. And the way to know that you're square, you know, I had the bottom, and I checked the bottom, and it was level. And I also checked the top, and that was level. You know, if you have the bottom level, you can square it up. Once you attach that, you measure this across at a 45-degree angle from point to point. I got 27 3/4. Then I measure from the same way, 27 3/4. This is just beautiful. So you don't want to be off way too far, because then your plastic trim's not gonna fit on here properly and may kind of look kind of askew or whatever. Okay, so now, yeah, see, with that housing, I could do all this by myself, measure it, and double check everything. And now, when I push the insert in, oh sweet, it's gonna be slip in there just like butter. Now you see on the trim, I got 2 1/2 inch trim, and when I put that up there, it's going to go right to the bottom of where that painted area was. Remember the sides, I cut the sides off, so I don't have a problem with that. And you remember, right, let me get out of the light, right there, I got to be careful with that. I'm going to put a little bit of caulking back in there, and then push this up like that, and then when the trim comes down, the trim's going to be real close to that, and then I'm going to caulk the bottom of the trim too, and that's going to keep that down. You see, if that would have ripped out like that, then I would have had to prime and paint it, and then it would have looked like a patch because there was no texture on it and all that. That's why you got to be careful when you pull that trim off. My bad, but I'm going to fix it. Now see, there's my trim. What do you suppose I'm going to cut that with? Look what I've got. Ooh, kaboom. My plastic miter box and my little miter box saw. That's how I'm going to cut that trim. You know, it's getting nighttime. I don't want to get a skill saw out, and I don't carry an electric compound miter box saw around with me all day long for the one chance I need it once a month or whatever to cut a couple pieces of trim. This is my mainstay. I use this for lots of little piddly jobs. And so I just put that underneath there, and and then I'm good to go. There's my saw. That'll get the cuts close enough. It's only little trim I'm doing, you know, 2.5 inches wide. That pre-finished white. Now that stuff there, you can get it that way, and that's how I'm going to put it up there. And ultimately, it's going to have to be painted. You got to put a coat of paint on that. Okay? But that's what I'm going to use for less than $10. I can cut my trim.